Hi, this is Jessica Fedderly. I am dialing in, videoing in from Portland, Oregon in the United States. First off, I just want to thank you deeply for allowing me the opportunity to discuss one of the great inspirations in my life, Terrence Mugova. First, I'd just like to give a bit of a background on how we began to work together. So Terrence and I met 5 years ago when I was volunteering with entrepreneurs in Harare, Zimbabwe, helping these entrepreneurs improve their understanding and use of financial concepts. Terrence was one of 20 to 30 hand-selected participants in a social entrepreneur boot camp that was sponsored by the U.S. Embassy in Harare, and I was volunteering through the embassy. After our first day of working together, Terrence very politely, yet very passionately, encouraged me to visit his hometown of Bulawayo to present my materials to entrepreneurs in his community. It was beautiful the way that he worded it, with the type of class and deep care and understanding that is really paramount to his personality. He himself is an absolute financial genius and blows me out of the water, but he didn't say that, and I actually didn't know that at the time because I had just met him. But long story short, as a result of Terrence's urging and planning, my original 2-day workshop in Zimbabwe is just focused in Harare at the beginning. For 20 to 30 entrepreneurs, it expanded into a multi-month effort and really kind of spread some finance-related literacy and best practices across Zimbabwe. So the events that Terrence orchestrated in his community over a 2-day period alone drew at least 100 participants, perhaps well more than that. And not only that, with my encouragement and blessing, he built upon my original materials and further distributed these learnings across Southern Africa in the 5 years since we first met. And Terrence and I continue to connect monthly on how to further improve and distribute our collective learnings. So fingers crossed that even more people will benefit from his passion and expertise and just a little bit of help that I provided at the outset to kind of get that ball rolling. I'd like to now turn to Africa's business heroes. One of your videos asks if candidates have passion, vision, and resilience. I can honestly say that I've never met a business person in my life that comes close to matching Terrence's passion, vision, and resilience on both a professional and a personal level. And I would say the same thing if you had chosen the words honesty, integrity, diplomacy, advocacy, charisma, and pure intellectual horsepower. I can't imagine what it's like to be an entrepreneur in Zimbabwe, but I feel like I have a little bit of an appreciation of how incredibly difficult it must be given my 4 months in Zim on the ground and the kind of continued work and research I've done since being back in the US. I can't even imagine how entrepreneurs are able to navigate that environment given the currency issues, hyperinflation, the challenging infrastructure. I mean, things like that I take for granted: power, water, transportation, hospitals, not to mention internet. I mean, those things are very challenging in and of themselves, and layer on the political environment, it's challenging. And I know entrepreneurs in the U.S. who have sold their businesses for $100 million or well beyond that, but I don't think they would have had a chance to build a successful business in Zimbabwe. On the flip side, I can only imagine the successes that Terrence would achieve in a more economically and politically stable environment. But for Terrence, it's all about helping the people in his community. It's not about the money or notoriety. I very, very much hope that Terrence is able to share his story and receive additional support for all of the work that he does. He's an absolute sponge, and I think he would soak up every bit of advice and support offered through the mentorship, training, and entrepreneurial ecosystem offered by your program. And most importantly, I know that he would take all of that knowledge that he's sponged in and all of those resources to help the people around him, the people who desperately need his help in Zimbabwe and throughout Southern Africa. And I just thank you so much for your time and for letting me share my thoughts. I could go on and on and on, and if you have any questions, hopefully Terrence is passing along my contact information to you. And thank you so much for this program. I can't wait to hear about all of the finalists, and we wish you all well. Thank you. Bye.